What are some things that you could be unintentionally doing that could be sabotaging your relationship or your efforts to try to make your relationship work here? In order to understand this, we have to look at some common things that people do, even smart people do, that cause them to set themselves back when it comes to their relationship or their efforts to save their relationship. But first, hello, this is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without playing mind games, without having to play hard to get, without having to use the no contact rule, without having to analyze your partner with attachment theory or anything like that, because you deserve to be loved for who you are without having to, resort to all of these artificial things. The first thing that you can do to get on the right track, and the first thing that I want you to stop doing, is to being relationship focused. Now, what do I mean by this? So many times when somebody's trying to save their relationship, they'll be what I call relationship focused. That's to say they're focused on the outcome of being in that relationship. They look at everything that's happening. They say, okay, that text message that I got, that meetup that we had, that thing that I saw on Instagram, does that seem like it's bringing us closer to being together, or does it seem like it's bringing us farther from being together? When they smiled at me, when they said that thing, does that seem like it opened the door for us to be together, or does it seem like they're losing interest and they're trying to connect with somebody else? Does it seem like they're getting into a rebound? Does it seem like they care about me? Does it seem like they still miss me? Did they wear the necklace that I got them? Did they wear the shirt that I got them? Did they, have that little picture in the background of our time on that vacation or something like that? These are all things that cause people to be too outcome driven, that it causes them to lose the ability to create the connection that they need to in the moment. And obviously, if someone's going to choose to be with you, it's not going to be because you analyze them to death. It's going to be because you created a strong connection with them that made them want to spend more time with you, that made them see a future together with you, and made them want to go out of their way to connect with you in a deeper sort of way. What I want you to try to do is to break this habit of being relationship focused and instead focus on the present moment and how you can connect with them in that present moment, rather than looking at this as the end goal of being in a relationship. When most of us go out on a date, we don't try to make that work. We don't try to force it to work. Like, okay, are we going to be in a relationship or not? If you're on a first date with somebody, you're probably thinking like, okay, hey, here's someone who's cool. Do we have something in common? Yeah, it would be cool to be in a relationship with someone like this. Maybe I'd want to do that, but let's get a chance to know each other first. At least that's the ideal way to do it. And so you want to have that similar kind of mindset when it comes to all of this. The next mistake that a lot of people make is that they're not willing to meet their ex where they're at emotionally. This is a bad habit. Instead, they meet them or they try to meet them where they're at themselves. That's to say, in that relationship focused sort of state. So this is where people try to flirt. They'll try to do like cute things as if they were dating, or if they're in a relationship with one another, they'll try to bring up memories from the past, etc. And that's not necessarily going to help if that's not where your particular partner is at in this moment. Instead, you have to say, okay, where are they at? What is it that they are feeling right now? Are they feeling hurt? Okay, I need to meet them in that place where they're feeling hurt about something that happened in the past. Maybe that means that you acknowledge the pain that they're feeling. Maybe that means that you apologize or clear things up, or use the fresh start message or something like that. Are they feeling sad or depressed? Are they lost and confused or something like that? You have to be willing to meet them where they are at if you want to really be able to create that connection with them. You can't just assume that you can come in at whatever emotional place you're at and expect them to rise to meet you there. You have to be willing to meet them where they are at, because that's where they're at. And if you want to connect with them, you have to be willing to connect with them at the emotional place that they are currently at in that moment, especially if it's a rather intense sort of place as well too. By the way, if you're liking this video, it'd really help me out a lot if you would hit the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing to this channel. It's a totally free way to support this channel, and I would greatly appreciate that. The next habit that holds a lot of people back is that they focus too much on the differences between them and their partner. They focus too much on the fact that like maybe hey, I'm a man and you're a woman, and women are all this way. At least I read so on the internet, or something like that. Or men are all this way. At least that's what a magazine at the checkout stand told me, or something like that. And so we want to stop focusing in on the differences between the two of us, and we want to start focusing in on what actually is the commonalities between the two of us. Rather than focusing in on gender, for example, or the current thing nowadays is attachment theory, instead of saying like, oh, hey, look at that. My ex is an avoidant. That means that I have to go no contact all the time 100% of the time, and if I just go no contact hard enough, they'll eventually miss me and come crawling back over broken shards of glass, right? No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to look at the differences. Instead, you want to look at the commonalities between the two of you, the commonalities that say, hey, yeah, maybe we're all a little bit different, but you know what? You're a human being, I'm a human being, you have these emotions, I've probably felt those emotions at some point in my life. Let's talk about it. Let's share our stories. Let's share what we do know about one another. Let's share what we do like about one another, right? Like you didn't fall in love because of your differences, at least not explicitly. It wasn't like, wow, look at that. You hate communication and I love communication. I think I'm in love. I mean, unless you're, dealing with some psychological trauma or something like that. Yeah, that's probably not why you fell in love in the first place. It's probably something more like, hey, look at that. We have things in common. You like this band? Oh, I like this particular song of theirs. Oh, that's your favorite song too? Wow, it makes me feel this way. Wow, you feel that way too? That's amazing. We have so much in common. You always wanted to travel. Where is it you want to go? You want to go to Cinque Terre? Oh, I want to go there too. What was it you would do if you were there? Oh, we'd go and hike through the whole trail and all that sort of stuff, right? These are things that actually cause us to come together. It's by focusing on the commonalities, not the differences, that's going to take us there. That is going to be huge if you're going to want to save your relationship with your ex. The next habit that's holding a lot of people back is not having positive relationship cues. What do I mean by this? So positive relationship cues, these are things that people basically universally are looking for in a long-term partner, in someone that they want to spend their life with. These are things like empathy, forgiveness, flexibility, compassion, open-mindedness, cooperation, etc. It's not a stretch to say, okay, my future partner is going to want these in their life. You probably want these in your future partner as well too. And so it's not a stretch to say, okay, these are probably some things that I'm going to need to exhibit in my own life. And this is where things start to get problematic because people don't exhibit these sorts of things in their interactions with their ex or with their partner. They often exhibit things that are exact polar opposite of this. Things like no contact. No contact is not a positive relationship cue because what it sends the message of when things get tough, I give up. When things get tough, I back off. When things get tough, I shut down. That's a really negative emotional cue. And that's something that can hold a lot of people back if they are using no contact as their one and only strategy, which I know a lot of you guys are because I've talked to you. And you're really doing yourself a huge disservice by using no contact as your one and only strategy. And no, I don't mean use no contact with a handwritten letter or anything. I mean, you got to do more than that. That's not going to cut it, guys. So don't just use no contact as your one and only strategy. Don't send out these negative relationship cues in other ways as well, too. The next thing that is a bad habit that causes a lot of people to struggle is that they get stuck in what we call damage control mode. Now, of course, damage control mode is this panicked place that people often find themselves in after a breakup where they're texting and calling way too much, they're begging and pleading, they're buying gifts and all that sort of stuff. And I think we all have gotten to the point where we know that that's not the ideal thing to do. But damage control mode can also show up in other areas as well, too. Like if you get some bad news, like, oh, it turns out they're dating someone else, that could cause you to panic and cause you to start to do certain things again as well too. And so what we want to do is we want to get out of this place, get out of this mindset and get into this place where you know that deep down you're going to be okay no matter what happens. Yes, you may have a preference of making things work with this person. Yes, you may have a preference of wanting to save your relationship, but you know that if it's not going to go that way, that you're going to be okay. Last year, my mother had some health issues. She had a stroke and then a heart attack just a couple months later. And so I was going through this time and period where I was like, wow, is my mom going to not make it? Is she going to die? I was really kind of concerned about this. I was worried about this. And I had to really do some work to get to this place of peace of mind, knowing that things are going to be okay no matter what happens, even if this is, her last few moments on earth. She turned out to, get the treatment that she needed, and she's still around and all that. But it really allowed me to kind of explore this whole process of getting to this peace of mind of knowing that things are going to be okay. And you can do this too. Of course, you're still going to do the things that you want to do. You're still going to have this preference, just like I still had the preference of my mom living, and I still went out of my way to help her and take her to her doctor's appointments and take her to the hospital and all of that sort of stuff. And you can have preference too. And I want you to follow that preference up, and I want you to go ahead and pursue that. But I want you to start by knowing that you're going to be okay. Deep down, you're going to be okay no matter how this turns out. And that is going to get you out of damage control mode. The next habit that's holding a lot of people back is having robotic rules about how they should interact with their partner. Of course, probably the most obvious one of these is that using no contact as your one and only strategy is holding you back. Having this robotic rule of, hey, things aren't working the way that I want them to, I'm going to go no contact. Hey, they won't text me back, I'm going to go no contact. Hey, they're in a rebound relationship, I'm going to go no contact. Hey, they won't answer my text in a timely fashion that I find workable, so I'm going to go no contact. Hey, they won't get back together with me because they say they're confused, I'm going to go no contact. If no contact is your only strategy, you're basically a robot, and that is not going to help you out. What you really need to do is to develop the skill of feeling into the situation, knowing what's happening on an emotional level, and responding in an appropriate sort of way. That's going to be the most powerful thing that you can do for your relationship. And so what I want you to do next is to learn about a strategy that's going to be more helpful than no contact, more helpful than a lot of these bad habits that really ruin your chances here. So I want you to go ahead and check out this video right over here on our strategy for getting back together with your ex without using no contact. This is what we've been helping people with for quite a while now, and it's been really working out great. So please go ahead and check that video out, and I'll see you right over there.